even dare touch anything because the salesperson might scold us for touching it. Like the salesperson might say, "Hey, can you afford it? If you can't afford it, don't touch it." So we just looked at things and stayed away because we knew that those things and us, our lives are totally different. So these post-88 generation kids, they are now living in a new kind of world. In our world, I'm in my mid-50s. In our world, during our time, we had family values. Yeah, we had social values. We loved our country. We were ready to sacrifice ourselves. And then we paid respect to the elders. But for this post-88 generation, one thing, no respect for older generation. Second thing, they become more materialistic because you see, they grew up with all these goods, commodity goods, and they want them. So whereas we grew up with those idealistic values, they've grown up with materialistic values, they want things. And then when we look at the personal relationship in our time, it might be very old-fashioned. First girlfriend, first boyfriend becomes the one and only husband and wife. Yeah, I know it's funny. But that was the way it was. But nowadays, both boys and girls, they are taking personal relationships very lightly. Morality is always flexible. And then these girls too have become very materialistic, like Madonna's Material Girl. They've taken this motto from Bangkok: no money, no honey. So, if you have the money, if you can spend money on her, she may be your girlfriend for maybe 2-3 days or 3 months, And then, but at the other end, girls, ladies, young ladies, they are taking and making their own freedom. They say, we don't need to depend on you for money, we can earn on our own. Okay? And then they say things like, why should I be faithful to you? You're not the only guy in the world. There are other guys too. So some elderly people feel that, this younger generation morality has gone down the drain. But I don't want to support that because whatever they are doing, they still have their heads, they are still thinking, they are not, just running around like uneducated people. So all these are reflected in the poems of these post-88 generation poets. If you look at their poems, you'll find some kind of content that was taboo at one time. You are not allowed to write anything about sexual relationships. You are not allowed to write anything about wanting to be independent when they are still under the guidance of parents. And at one time, we did not write about private things. Like now, for example, the title of one book that came out a few months ago was in Burmese. It has a double meaning. One meaning is self-gratification, and the other meaning is, well, are you guys over 16? Because the other meaning is masturbation. Imagine a whole collection of poetry with the title masturbation. So I think it's also because the censorship was abolished last year. If not, these people would have been able to do that. And we have this young people forming poetry groups. Two famous groups are Penn School. They want to be very avant-garde, and they are very American influenced. And they have, online dealings with their generation in New York. And another group is what they call Meowistas. You see, in Burmese they call themselves Tohlan Jiao. In English, revolutionary cats. So, you take Chairman Mao as an icon. Chairman Mao is a picture of a cat. So, Chairman Mao. So, instead of Maoist, you call them the Meowists. So, such a clarity of history. Because Chairman Mao was such a huge figure, not only in China, throughout Asia, throughout the whole world. And at one time, when we were young, during our teenage life, we looked up to Chairman Mao as our leader because we were born, we were very, very much left-leaning, very Marxist, and very communist. So, but now these kids are making fun of Chairman Mao. So, their sense of history is gone, their sense of values is gone, or they may have a new set of values. So that's what these people are writing about, young people in their early 20s. I don't write like that. I'm in my mid-50s, so I write some other stuff that's more historical, that I feel has more substance. But then, well, I'll let you decide, okay? Let me read out one of my poems. Do you want to hear it in Burmese? Yeah, okay.